January 1st, defendant Googled using his son's iPad. Some of his searches are as follows. Keep in mind that the defendant said he left at 6 a.m. At 4:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before a body starts to smell. At 4:58 a.m., how to stop a body from decomposing. At 5:20 a.m., he searched how to unbound a body.
Oh, that man there, Brian Walshe. He's a Massachusetts husband and father, if you couldn't tell by the accent on that lady's voice there. She's reading out some of the things that was going on there. He's accused of killing his wife, Anna, who was missing. And he's pleaded not guilty to that charge. And she was reading out some of the things that he searched on his son's iPad. It was a bit echoey in there. So you know what? Let me go ahead and read some of those things that he was searching after his wife went missing and that they did find on a home iPad. His sons. Here's some of those things. Here's a list. The last time he told police he saw Anna was on January 1st at 6 o'clock in the morning. The prosecutor read in court the following searches that he allegedly looked up on January 1st, probably a few hours later. Look, about 4:55 in the morning before he said she went missing. How long before a body starts to smell? How to stop a body from decomposing? How to embalm a body? This is consistent throughout the morning before 6:10 in the morning. How to embalm a body? 10 ways to dispose of a body if you really need to. Who's posting that? How long for someone to be missing to inherit? And I think there's one of the big clues into his motivations. There's more about this guy because then after that at 6:40 in the morning, can you throw away body parts? What does formaldehyde do? How long does DNA last? I'm gonna read these fast because he had about 100 of these searches. Can identification be made on partial remains? Dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body. How to clean blood from wooden floors. Aluminol to detect blood. What happens when you put body parts in ammonia? Is it better to throw crime scene clothes away or wash them? Yo, this is like serial killer 101. Which site is he on looking for this stuff? You think Google's just like, yeah, we're gonna give you all this information and there's no flagging, there's no one realizing that you're searching how to dispose of my murdered wife. Yo, I can't read them all because there's more. It went into the next day and then the next day, all through January 3rd. And the last one was, can baking soda mask or make a body smell good? What an idiot this guy is. Here's his wife, who they've determined has probably been killed. They haven't found any remains at this point. And this is Brian Walshe here, as he was getting perp walked, looking like a guy who doesn't give a damn what it is that he's facing or the seriousness of these charges, or that he potentially looks like he killed his wife. So one more piece here, because his Google searches before her disappearance showed even that he was trying to divorce her, or he's planning at least to divorce her before that. I guess it escalated quickly from there. Let's watch that.
They also say he Googled back in late December, what is the best state for a man to get a divorce in? They say instead of divorcing, he dismembered and discarded his wife's body. Those remains have not been found, they say, because they were taken to dumpsters in 2 different Massachusetts communities, and then they were by routine taken to a plant for incineration. But they believe they have solid DNA evidence linking him to her murder.
So much more about this guy, but first thoughts about these searches, because this guy has so many things that link him to this crime that I want to go through. But first, Farron, hear about this guy's Googles.
The only thing missing from his search history is, how do I clear my search history after I've just murdered and dismembered my wife? I mean, really, at this point, like, I don't even know how this guy was able to walk into court with a straight face, or as in that picture you just showed, smiling face, and plead not guilty. I mean, obviously everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I get that. But I mean, my God, the evidence is overwhelming. The search history alone is enough to indict this man. Obviously, they found her blood, they found his blood on the weapons, on the clothing. Like, it's very obvious what most likely happened here. And I just, there's been reports this morning, I've seen it a couple times, that he may consider changing his plea because his lawyers are saying, yeah, you know what? This is almost impossible to defend. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. My heart goes out to the kids. They got 3 kids, ages 2, 4, and 6. And that is just like, that is heartbreaking.
And what's next for them? Where do they go live? If it's with the family, then as they get older, how about my parents? Jesus, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a big part of it. That's honestly the biggest part about this, after the fact of the potential murder, but then how these kids have to grow up really fast, because this guy has a bit of a track record, which also leads to us realizing why he did something like this. He's 47 years old. He comes from a wealthy family, pleaded guilty in 2021 to charges that he had sold fake Andy Warhol paintings to a California art dealer. So he had been on home confinement with a few exceptions while he was waiting for a sentencing just in that case. So there's also physical evidence that they found around and surrounding areas that connected him to this as well. Really fast, Norfolk County Assistant District Attorney Lynn Belland said in Quincy District Court that investigators found the couple's DNA along with a code vaccination card for Anna Walshe and a hacksaw, cutting shears, and a hatchet in trash bags in a dumpster at Brian Walsh's mother's apartment complex. Jesus, about 40 miles north of where they lived. Investigators also said they found blood and a damaged knife with blood on it in the basement of their home. Lastly, he was also seen on surveillance video. This is straight out of a cartoon. He was on surveillance video on January 2nd, a day after he said she was missing, buying $450 in cleaning supplies, mops, bucket, tarps, drop cloths, and tape, all from Home Depot, is what the prosecutor said. He had told the police that the only time he left the home was to buy ice cream for his son on that day. I can see now why, as you pointed out, Theron, that these attorneys are like, yo, you're gonna have to change this plea or else you have to change attorneys, because this doesn't make any sense, bro. You did it.
Really, I mean, he may as well walk in a court with, I murdered my wife and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I mean, it just screams guilty. And I think you bring up a good point. Like, this is almost cartoonish with what he did. Like, this is what you see and maybe like a comedy movie where, oh no, we accidentally killed somebody, we got to do something. But it's so terrible what happened here. I mean, and his wife was very successful. She was climbing the corporate ladder. She was doing great. He's screwing the family, every possible way with the fake art dealing. Now with this, again, allegedly killing his wife. But my brain goes back to the kids. Yeah. I just keep thinking about how horrible this is. Where do they go? I mean, who is there to care for them and get them through this traumatic part that you'll never really get through? This, especially with the oldest one. So
who do they become in life? It sucks.
Exactly.
It's destroyed the entire family off of some money. Coming from a wealthy family, you can't hack it. So you go for all of this other stuff, looking for divorces and money and murder and all this stuff. It's disgusting.